Hello guys, this gear review applies to the Pennine Way, the West Highland Ways, and I guess the Affric Kintail Way. So I'm here in this bothy, very nice, and I'm on my own, it's raining, so I thought, I might as well do this review. And so yeah, I'm gonna start telling you what I'm wearing. I like this OR Outdoor Research sun globes. They're supposed to be for the sun, and I always thought it was stupid, and maybe for that use. However, if you come in summer here with midges, this is fantastic. For hiking in general, lovely. To avoid these callus, or whatever you pronounce that, on your hands from your trekking pole, great. And I also like them because they do provide some level of warmth. This is my North Face jacket. Just to say, all this has been reviewed in my other gear reviews, but I thought it was interesting to do one while being on the trail. So my North Face jacket is trusty, it's 380 grams. These are 20 grams, 10 grams each, the gloves. 380 grams. It has taken all the rain in Scotland through it and more. And for the most part, I'm pretty happy. I trust this jacket. It's not that I was bone dry any of those days. It's just for the most part, either you get wet inside out or the other way around. I trust the jacket at blocking the rain for many hours of intense rain. Things that I don't like. The pockets. When you put your hip belt, it cuts the pocket down here, so you have stuff here on the bottom, and you cannot access that unless you undo the hip belt. That's something to look into. Some of the jackets, like I have a mountain jacket, perhaps the pocket's a bit further up, and also the pocket in itself is not so deep. It is freaking deep. It's good, it's big, but then the offset of that is what I just said. So the mountain is kind of up to here, like this. So you put your hip belt and the pocket is here. It's nice. It's well thought, I think. Anyway, so this is alright. What am I wearing underneath? This is merino wool. This is merino wool. This is merino wool. The socks are merino wool. My base layer is merino wool as well. Yes, I like merino wool, you guessed it. So this is a neck gaiter. It's 40 grams, same as this thing, 40 grams each. I really like them. And they're usually on and off throughout the day, and I store them here in the chest spot. This is fantastic, by the way. And so this is a cool light from Icebreaker. So this merino wool is slightly, it's not as warm as the other, the base layer. I like this for hiking. So this is my clothes for hiking when I'm on the move. And then I have the base layer for sleeping that I try to keep clean. And I'll show you just here. But anyway, just typical merino wool leggings and long sleeve t-shirt. This one is the Icebreaker 200, so it's thicker than this. This one weighs 183 grams, I think, 185, and this one 173, the Cool Light. So I store them in a nano dry bag thing, ultra sealed. This is an 8 liters bag. So I have these two guys. I have socks. These are the short ones, so that save some weight there. And then also merino wool from Icebreaker. Everything is from Icebreaker. It's not a sponsor me by any means. It's just I think they're good products. Although the durability I'm not too sure. I wear this every single day for hiking. So this is the only problem I have. I don't know here. You see my fingers. So it's just there in the insam or something. But I'm satisfied anyway. This is a feather. I pay for this feather, so it stays here, and I put it at night in the sleeping bag. It keeps me warmer than if there was no feather. This is an Arc'teryx mid layer. It's 226 grams, I think. It's good for moving because it breathes well. The problem is, while doing the SNT, Scottish National Trail last year, it picked up a lot of odors. I didn't like that, and also took a bit longer than I would like to dry off when it got wet. Other than that, I like it. I ditched it. If you watch my gear review of the SNT, you see I throw the packet. So yeah. I wasn't happy. But then I took it to the Pennine Way because it's the freaking thing that I have and I pay for it, so I took it. And it was very sunny, different conditions, no rain at all. I didn't use it much, to be honest. It was a shorter hike as well. It was like 12 days versus 27, so it was okay. It did well in that sort of environment. So that's why you need to put things into context, because for the 12 days hike, without using it much, I was quite happy with this. Whereas in the SNT, it picked up a lower, I washed it, and then the smell was still there, and it really, I wasn't happy with it. I thought it didn't perform well, but now I'm alright. I have my midges net, so if you have a cap, it will put the net away from you. I don't have a cap, so the net is on my freaking face, but that's alright with me. Why a cap? Because I don't have an inner net or inner tent in my tent, which is this. This is my tent. So it's only the outside. So while doing the West Highland Ways, there was a day that I pitched in a place where there were quite a few more small black spiders that I would like to. So I wore this thing overnight. I don't think I should have, because every time I woke up I looked for spiders. I didn't see any, and I just have it. And to be honest, I'm coming to Scotland. It's May, so I want to be on the very, very freaking safe side of midges. Then I have my camp shoes. This is just experimenting, trying to find the best thing. What I do, I put inside my insoles, so they're pretty comfy. Like when I finished the West Highland West, I went to the supermarket from the hostel, 5 minutes walk, and it was quite comfy with the insoles inside. These are 100 grams together. The problem I have is the stitches here let water in, so that killed it for me. It's a deal breaker. But I'm going to look for the similar concept without the sole, so it won't have stitches. Like pretty much an operating room thing, or when you go in some clinics or to have a massage, whatever, sometimes they give you these things to put over your shoes. So I'm going to look into something like that, but hopefully thicker like this material. And without the outsoles these have, I think it will be around 60 grams, 50, or probably even less. So that will be fantastic. And then we'll let water in, and I will put my insoles inside, so it will be comfy and it will be amazing. Best of every single world in the freaking planet. And what else? Ground sheet here. I always have a ground sheet, especially now because my tent doesn't have a bathtub either. It's just like a tarp, it's a pyramid. So I need a ground sheet. And there's some people out there that save 200 grams in a ground sheet. I don't. Why? Because when I was sitting there having coffee, I had my sitting pad and I was resting my feet, and I took off my wet socks to air my feet, which I usually do often, and I have my ground sheet. I just put it on the freaking floor and I put my feet on the ground sheet. And if you don't have one, either you don't air your feet or you put your feet on the filthy, dirty floor of the bothy. I don't recommend it. It's up to you. If you don't care, everything is relative. So this is what I do. If I sleep here, I put my ground sheet here, and I don't have to put any of my stuff right here. I put it on the ground sheet. I love that. I need it for my tent, and if I take a break, I can use the ground sheet. I just think the last thing you want to get rid of your freaking gear is your ground sheet. Yet, I see people on Facebook, oh, you don't need a ground sheet, don't take it. Okay, I don't know where you go hiking. Where I come hiking, I bring a ground sheet. You bring it or not, it's up to you. If you take it once, I bet you won't ditch it. You'll be happy. This is my experience. This is a trekking pole. It's a titanium one, 250 grams. I only use it for pitching my tent because I need it for the tent. This is the only reason this thing is here. And I'm thinking of ditching it and using the monopod while my camera is right now standing. So I have a monopod for my videos and also for pitching the tent. I'm considering that. It just occurred to me the other day. Here I have attached my very trusty base 60 pounds from Bear House. And these have taken so much rain and everything. I really like them because they give warmth. So sometimes when I had to cowboy camp or when I wanted to do it, if I get cold, like in a Pennine Way. I had to put on my everything I had in the first night. So this thing really helped because they provide quite a bit of warmth. And they have these zips that go all the way from here. And there are two of them, so you can sort of put one down and ventilate all this area, and put the other one up here, ventilate the lower leg. And then they have like a clip here and down there, so they stay there. I like them. What is a freaking pain is a zip. The goddamn zipper, man, you really need to sort of find your way to do it and pamper the freaking zipper, because I was always freaking tangles. And I want to slap or punch one of these warehouse engineers, because it really, it will get to you. Other than actually my first pair, I broke them because I was about to ford a freaking river, and I just didn't have time for the freaking shit that wouldn't work, and I just, pulled the hell out of it and broke it. And Amazon exchanged it for a new pair, which is this pair. What else we have here? Usually, so that's here, and I always put my water bottle here in this side. On the other side, I always have my 2 liters water carrier from Evernoon, and this is like something like 40 grams, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I like this thing. I just fold it here on the side. Just collect the water while I go, so I have plenty of water here. I don't have to go left up me. My clothes fell and filth the floor. Shit, man. And these are my clean clothes falling on the filthy floor. So good. Shit. Anyway, now they are sort of clean. What else? Yeah. I guess at some point I may do a separate video to show you guys how I make my movies. This is a camera case. This is a 4 liters dry bag thick one from C2 Summit, and I use it to cover the camera while I'm walking. But I guess it's not of your interest. At some point one day I'll do this. For those of you who wanna film like me, try to film like me, which is not easy. I have my chest pod. I talk about this thing a lot of times. I strongly recommend it. This is fantastic to have all the stuff you're gonna need throughout the day, like your negator, your hat, the snacks you may want to pack in there. And I always put also these and a few other items, including my knife, to have it handy. And yeah, I have here, I'll show you later, the water thing, the water filter. Alright guys, the battery died, so you really have to thank me that I'm doing this. So in this pocket, I was saying, I usually put my spork here, because I still haven't figured out a better place to put it. And I have my first aid kit, my kitchen wipes, my wet wipes that I use every night to wash myself. I wash myself here and there in a river as well, but for the most part I use this thing. And so I have my electronics. I don't know if I got to say about them. So basically the power bank, the USB plug with 3 plugs and 2 cables. So I have 3 plugs in the USB. One is for the phone, one is a power bank, one is for the charger, which comes with a cable. That's why I only have 2 cables here. And so that works for me. I always put one of these bags that take humidity. If you can buy them, but I just found one. If I had more at home, I just throw in there a couple of them. And it's not so much weight, and I think it may help. So these wet wipes are biodegradable, and I really like. Usually I don't need to say brands and all, but the Nivea ones, they work pretty well. I like them. And then in my first aid kit, I have cream for my feet if they get dry. I have this tape to make sure some of the plasters stay in place. This tape is pretty good. It's one of the latest additions. I have ibuprofen, 3 of them. I took one in the Pennine Way, so 3 of them. And then I have complete plasters that they're a little bit hit or miss thing, because on the Pennine Way they kept falling. So, you know, the complete thing on top of it, they may destroy your socks, like 50%, 40% chances that you use your compete, you have to throw away your socks, because the glue that these things have, you know, if they start peeling off, the glue onto your sock, and then at least with the type of socks I have, you know, the glue to these little threads, and you know, useless. You need to throw them away. So that's something you need to know. Also, in the Pennine Way, they keep falling all the freaking time. So they just fail me completely and they let me down. So, but other times they save my life. So I always pack them. If they work, fantastic. If they don't work, then I suck it up, you know. But it's better safe than sorry, and I prefer to use them. And what I do, I combine them with other plasters that I made that are thicker. So I have the best from both worlds. If the compete sticks to my foot and works, then it's great. And then I put on top of it one of the others to provide more cushioning, because the compete are very thin. So sometimes you don't want to feel the blister, it hurts. So you put two of them, you combine the plasters. And yeah, so that's for the most part my kit, my first aid kit. And I also have here my tent stakes, but on the other side, this pocket has two sides. This one that you can access from the inside of the backpack, and this one that you can only access from the outside of the backpack here. There's a zipper here. So I put there my stakes and also my trusty and highly, strongly recommendable handball sponge. This thing, I use it all the freaking time, especially now that I only have a single wall tent. It's pretty good to wipe away your condensation if it builds inside the tent. You can clean a little bit your dishes, whatever you need to clean with it. You can just use it to clean other things away from your ground sheet, from the inside of your tent. I've talked about this thing, it's just fantastic. I actually have talked about most of the things, but anyway, just wanted to do another year review here in the field, you know. And so, we have here, I already said all this, I thought it was my sleeping bag, it's actually inside. So we have here my sleeping bag, there's a sleeping bag, and then also have my sleeping pad down there in the bottom. So the sleeping bag is minus 12 degrees Celsius, whatever in Fahrenheit, I'll put it on the screen, hopefully, if you're lucky. And yeah, so that's about it, yeah. This is my backpack that I absolutely love. It's Expert Lightning 60 liters. Sometimes, or often, you don't necessarily want a backpack that is too big so that you carry more stuff. It's just to make your life easier. Because I met a girl in the West Highland Ways with a 30-40 liters backpack, and obviously, you know, the tent was on top with the straps. And it was a mess, you know. And I just told her, I said, look, I mean, it's the one she had, to be fair. And I said, look, I have this one, so, you know, she didn't want to spend money. I understand that. If that's your case, like, yeah, I understand. But if you have to buy a new backpack, if you're shopping for one, bear that in mind. Choose one that has a freaking large opening here to pack your stuff, like this one. This is massive. I can fit through this, almost. If I hadn't a big head, I could, but no, let's kidding. This is fantastic to pack your stuff. I mean, I'm not kidding you. This is big, and it has these two straps, independent ones here. You can attach things here and here independently. You have this top strap as well that you can attach things or put on top. Pretty easy. You take off your jacket, just put it here if you want to. You can put your tent here, especially because this is actually the envelope where my tent came, but I prefer this shape, like a square, rather than the stuff sack that the tent came in, but the shape is more like this, it will be like this. So then, you know, it didn't fit like this in my backpack, and I actually prefer this shape because I like to put it here on top. The first thing, if it's pouring down, I'll just open the backpack and take the tent. If it's like this, then I need to pack the tent first and then pack things around, because otherwise things fall and you cannot push it inside. You see what I mean? And I always like to make sure the very last thing I need to pack is my tent, because if it's pouring down outside, I pack everything. And imagine it's a tent and everything is packed. Only then I take the tent down and pack it. And it only pulls down on me when I take the tent down and pack it. Imagine if it's pouring down on you and you have to take down your tent and all your stuff is around you. You're gonna hate your life big time. So we're going to check now my cooking system. Alright, let's take the ground sheet and the seating pad. And now I'm going to show you my cooking system. So cooking system, I'm going to drink some water. I forgot to filter the goddamn water, I have to say. So I'm going to show you how this thing works. My bottle doesn't stand because I added boiling water to it when I was cowboy camping in the Pennine Way. And that's why it doesn't stand, because now it doesn't have the shape. So basically, let's undo the thing. It has an elastic that I still have from the freaking time I bought it. There's two ways to do this. Either just stick the thing, and usually you hold this, and usually the first 2 or 3, just drop it somewhere. I'll drop it in the bothy, just water. And someone will criticize me. Okay, now here we go. Just a bit. There you go. So you can just do it like this. I hope the camera is focusing on me. So you just like this. Or you can obviously do it like this. I'm trying to demonstrate the water flow of the thing. It's not fantastic, but I've seen worse. I guess you get the picture. It's slow. Water filters are slow. They are a freaking pain. But getting sick is a pain too, and it's worse than this. So I think filtering the water is the way to go. I often don't do it. I have to say, I just took this water from a stream next to the bothy, and there were sheeps all the freaking time there. So, I'm a little bit, because I don't want intentionally, I'm seeing the sheep all the time around. I don't want to get sick, When you remove the thing after filtering, there's always some water in the system, so you can do that, or you can just pour it somewhere. Again, this is just a bit of water. It's not that I'm pouring out 7 liters. Anyway, that's for the water filter. You got a demonstration there. By the way, your rubbish, just keep it like in a place and take it with you. Don't be a pig, really. I would bet my money that this thing, I crank it up the first time and it works. So I'm going to make coffee. So what I do, I add the water here so that I only boil what I need, so I save on gas. And then the next thing to do is you put your top, and I always like to check that it's well placed and that the system is stable. And then there you have it. Always work. Again. Right? I've seen videos online. I swear, I'm totally sure there was no gas here. They were comparing this MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe 2 whatever with the igniter versus another competitor that probably is freaking good. And I'm sure they put an empty gas bottle because the guy was clicking the thing like 3-4 times and it wouldn't work. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Check it out. Again. And I pay for this thing. It's pretty good. So I want to recommend it to you because it's freaking good.
And do you find it very stable?
Yeah, I was gonna say, And the cons is that it's not very stable. It's not stable actually. It's just not stable. But as long as you place it correctly and you don't hit it, then it's stable. It's fine. But just don't hit it. Then I have my spork, and then I usually have hot chocolate and also coffee. I put it in bags like this. This is a coffee, so let's have some. I already have one here, one in Morbid and one in Fort Williams. I keep the coffee inside here. So basically, I have this bubble thing to avoid the clunky, whatever you say, that noise. I fold the thing and put it inside one of these bubble wrap paper that I sort of custom made for the cup, for the mug. And then inside the mug, I put the pocket rocket inside the mug here. On top of that, I put my bowl that I really like folded. I put it on top. I think we have boiling water already. So when I deploy my system, what I do is I put the stuff here so that I don't lose it. And same goes for the knife. The knife is always in the chest pod, as I said earlier. But then I want all the stuff, the cooking stuff here, so I don't lose it. The titanium pot becomes cold like super quickly. It's incredible, really. Maybe it's because it's so thin and it's a metal. I don't know what it is, but the thing becomes very cold. See, it's perfect. I don't need more coffee than this. The spork is something I really like as well. I hardly ever use this part. So if you find something cheaper and lighter that only has a spoon, it may work for you. Okay. This bottle is from a smoothie and I love them. What you should look in a bottle of water? I personally think 750 milliliters, whatever gallons, thin stones, I'll put it on the screen. I personally look for something like 750 ml because 1 liter is too much if you need to carry water. I personally don't need to carry a liter. I never carry water in Scotland. I did carry water in the Pennine Way. That's like a desert there. And so things to look for in a bottle of water. That it has these things so you can have good grip. Because sometimes when you have cold, wet hands, you want good grip. Another thing, a large opening. Why? Because if you collect water, you want a large opening. What I do is I collect water with this and then I refill my water carrier that have a very small opening. So this is fantastic. Why it's also good? Because you saw me drinking from my water filter. It fits there easily. I don't have to, and another thing to look for, 2 things. One, that you can put boiling water and the plastic will take it. If you need to heat up your night and your sleeping bag, you want to make sure you do it at home first because you don't want disasters on the trail. The thing is already cold. It's just crazy, really. You don't want disasters on the trail, so put the boiling water at home, close it, bring it to your bed or wherever, and make sure it doesn't leak. When you know it works, you trash a bottle of water like I do, you put it in your sleeping bag, goes down thin, and you don't want it wet. So that's one point. Point number 2, you may want to have a pee bottle for the night. I use my water bottle for pee as well at night, and then I wash it in the morning, and it's fine. You can drink your pee, so it doesn't really matter. That's why you want a large opening to pee in the bottle, because sometimes you want to sort of try to put the thing down there close to make sure you don't pee in your sleeping bag, whatever you're peeing. Some guys, they're very skilled. They just stand on the side and pee while sleeping. I just can't manage. I need to sort of stand on my knees. But some people do it, to the point that I even read some people in a book, in a tent like mine, that you don't have a ground sheet or a bathtub or anything. I mean, I do have a ground sheet, but the other half, you can just keep the ground. So these people just pee directly on the ground. It's just crazy, like very skilled. You can also pee here, and since you know it can take boiling water without leaking, it can also take your pee. So after you pee, you can actually put it in the sleeping bag, and usually your pee is wet, it's hot, so it will heat up the sleeping bag as well, just to say. What I eat on the trail, actually. So this is gonna be my breakfast, a mix of oats, and I'll show you here. Mix of oats. Then I also have this I discovered recently. Okay, I'll show you the brand. It's not that they sponsor me or anything, but anyway. This oat thing, it's just that I really like the golden syrup taste. Someone gave it to me. Hayley. Hayley was my trail angel, so she gave it some of, thanks to her, I think I had breakfast the following day. So Hayley gave me these syrup thin oats, and I really like them, so ever since then I bring some. Then I also have this food, dry food. I really like this brand. It's Swedish, I think. It's the closest to home food home food, okay? Home food. It's not freaking home food, but it's the closest it gets. I like it on the trail. It's just really nice. Or the Citrus Summit, that also has some flavors. Not all of them, but some of them I think are almost on par with this one. Not exactly the same, but you also pay quite a bit less. So both brands are pretty good. And I haven't tried others because I only like those that you just open the thing, add boiling water, close, wait, eat. I don't want those that you need to simmer them, because simmering means consuming more gas. And gas is precious on the trail. So you just want to boil the minimum you can and use it for everything. So this thing. Kebabs too. I also have a lot of these energy bars. I'm getting sick of them, to be honest. I'm getting tired because I've used them, I think, for the Kebab Trail, Scottish National Trail, Pennine Way, West Highland Ways, and now this. So, and I take those packs that have all the flavors, and I'm already tired of them too. Let me see, recording big time. Awesome. So I'll be quick. I always like to have a cheese. This is a Scottish one I never tried because it's Scottish. I wanted to try it, and it's not so good. I like more others like this. There's a British farm thing. I forgot the freaking name. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. I usually like that, but just cheese. I like to have a cheese. Really, cheese and coffee really feel good to me. When I'm hiking and I make a break, it's what I feel like having, some cheese and break and coffee. So I have my energy bars, I have my dry food, I have the cheese, I have the oats for breakfast, and coffee, hot chocolate, and I always add a couple of hot soups from this brand, Heinz. I think this is it. Let me show you my 40 grams knife. It does the job. I have a much awesome knife at home, a tactical knife, but that is 140 grams. This is 40, so I take this for now. I think this is enough. This is enough. This is it. This is my gear stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you whatever. And yeah, I guess you enjoyed this bothy setting more than my living room or my room. And if you have any question, drop them down in the comment section down below. I always get back to people. You just go through the comments, you'll see that I think I have replied 99.9 of the comments. If I have missed somebody, it's with a pain in my heart. I didn't do it on purpose. It's just because sometimes I don't get notifications or whatever, like a margin of error. Other than that, I always get back to people. And if you wanna support my channel, you can do it donating some money for my next hikes. You can do it sharing this video to some other people you know, if you think it's useful, you know. And you can do it just simply liking the thing, subscribing, and that's it. To be honest, it's really awesome when people support you, you know. And just to say, some people have been donating some money, and you know, it goes a long way, because otherwise it's all on me and my wife, so my cat. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you around.